prayed for that forward. The moment he died, his sons could not live up to 70. And I saw that what? 62, 64. When you see a pattern like that, you know that something legal has transacted.
It's not a generational curse. There's no spiritual behind it. It's choice.
It happens everywhere. It happens in America. It happens in London. It happens everywhere.
This is the moment we have pastors at loggerheads on issue of family pattern. Oh my God, this is a matter that requires a lot of exegesis. Because when you look at the word pattern and the references they are giving, the examples, they don't tally in terms of the things of the spirit. I wonder what they meant by family pattern. Because if you have a man who is coming from a family where everybody is fair, and this individual comes out fair, that could be regarded as family pattern. Is it a spiritual problem? That is the question we need to answer. But I need to play this record further so that you will hear and we discuss further.
Not a generational curse. There's no spiritual force behind it. It's choice.
Your problem is that you don't know. And ignorance in the spirit is not an excuse.
People usually call generational curses are simply people repeating the same choices and patterns that they've seen in their parents or their elders. It's just repetition.
I give you another instances. When you have parents who are dwarf or short, and they give birth to a child, and the child turns out to be short like them, is that a spiritual problem? Or you have parents who are both fat or tall, and they give birth to an offspring, and this offspring comes out to be very tall or fat or obese as their parent. Is that a spiritual problem? These are the questions that need to be answered and be differentiated from what we call spiritual pattern. I heard one of the man of God giving an example of parents who have hypertension or have diabetes, and their child turns out to be hypertensive also, or likewise diabetic. He said it's a spiritual problem. The problem is we cannot, as preachers, overlook some certain things. He said you have no spiritual insight, so the things of the spirit have become a mirage to you, which is understandable. The things of the spirit are not open to everybody. Some people have their own encounter and they can give testimony, vivid testimony that you will find difficult to believe. But these are their own personal experience. But let me sound it clear also, that patterns are not spiritual things. Patterns are familiar to the parents. It's just like you being a black man and your parents give birth to you and you turn out to be black skin color. Is that a spiritual problem?
The same food your father eats, eating his habits, and then you find his diseases are following you. You may say it's a generational curse. It's no. Marrying the way your father married, marrying the way your mother married, treating your husband the way your mother did her husband, you find patterns repeating. It's not a generational curse. There's no spiritual force behind it. It's choice.
Can I talk to you? If you come from a family with altar, you are already a victim.
Do you know that your destiny is in your blood? Destiny has to do with what? A predetermined course of event, which is 1, irresistible. 2, that which is inevitable. You understand? Your destiny is inevitable. Like what you become in life, your lot, your fortune, what you are supposed to become in life is what I'm talking about. I say it's in your blood. That's what determines who you will become in future. And that is what is telling what you are now. What will happen next week? What will happen 2 years from now? What will happen 3 years from now? Is in your blood. If we take your...
I agree with this man of God, but at a point he deranged. Most of the things that you manifest are actually in your blood. Your blood pattern, the genetic makeup of your whole human is in your blood. The kind of risk you take is determined by the risk embodiment in your system. If you are going to turn out to be a black skinned person, it's already in your system. I don't want to use the word blood, but it's already in your system, in your entire body system. So that is not a spiritual problem, because you are given birth to by two black men. Now, are you going to turn out to be light skin or black skin? If you are going to turn out, you are going to start from childhood. When are you going to have the inspiration to start praying if it's a spiritual problem to cast it out? Have you seen a man of God who turned someone who is black skin color to a white skin? The answer is practically no. If you have seen, then it's a personal experience. I have not seen, and I believe majority of persons have not seen. These are matters of critical thinking. You don't wave everything into spiritism. Otabil Mensa has actually, as a man who have been around for quite some time, these men who are speaking, they are not up to his experiences. And his level of education and understanding is above these men. I'm not saying that you need education to be spiritual, no. But the things of the spirit are different from pattern.
Let them we examine it, we can find it. The choices you will make in life, the decisions you will make in life, is because of the blood that is running through you. The woman you will marry tomorrow is because of the blood type that you have, the course you will do in school, or you read in school, whatever you will do, I say it's in your blood. Even the job that you are likely to undertake. Some of you gentlemen, when you see fair women, you cannot resist. And you think it's what? You met 17 ladies when you were in the university. Out of the 17, you chose one particular one. That decision, I say it is in your blood. Haven't you realized that your grandmother died of arthritis or hypertension? Your mother also died of hypertension. And you are following. And you say you won't do anything about it. I am seated in heavenly places, far above principalities. I am the head, not the tail.
This is the point where I disagree with this man of God. He has initially pointed out that most of the things you become are in the blood, which I will say is part of your system. It might not necessarily be blood, but for you to say that your parents were hypertensive, diabetic, and now you are just saying, I'm seated in having highly places, what is he referring to? Is he saying that you can change some of these dynamics? I believe there are miracles, but that is not, miracle is not a daily act. It's not your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner. No. Miracles are rare events that are beyond nature. These are miracles, and they are not daily. They are not always there. That's why Christ said in the Bible, a man shall not live by bread alone. Bread alone, that is miracle. But by the word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Lord. So at this point, his example differs from what he was saying initially, pointing to hypertension and other disorders, which are, we call it familiar. They are in the family, so you can easily pick it. It's there. It is not a spiritual problem. If you desire a miracle in that line, you can have it if your faith carries you. But it is not a spiritual pattern. It is not a spiritual pattern. It's a pattern that is completely physical. And if you have someone who comes in with a different gene, your child can pick that gene and be different, but not necessarily that it is a spiritual pattern.
You are making all those declarations, but the symptoms are coming on you. Your destiny in the area of health has been programmed. We are thinking it will get you.
My grandfather at 110 years old, with a straight back. He was not using spectacles. He wasn't using a cane to walk. He was looking for death. And anywhere, if you could show him where death was, that's where he would go, because all his mates had died. He doesn't have anybody to be gisting with. So he prayed for that. The moment he died, his sons could not live up to 70. And I saw that with my dad, 62, 64. Huh? When you see a pattern like that, you will know that something legal has transacted.
It's not a generational curse. There's no spiritual force behind it. It's choice.
Family patterns. It happens everywhere. It happens in America. It happens in London. It happens everywhere.
Not a generational curse. There's no spiritual force behind it. It's choice.
White lady. She was looking for her mom. She didn't see her mom. She went downstairs and saw her mom. This lady was going through a monthly flu at that time. She met her mom with her, this lady's used pad. The mom was sucking the blood. White! So what are you telling me?
A generational.
Well, I have known some men of God for quite some time, and I've listened to their messages. Cut across Africa, US, various continents, Asia, Australia, and the rest of them. Some men of God have been known for stories, unsubstantiated story. I don't know how that has really helped the kingdom of God or the body of Christ. Unsubstantiated stories, stories that have no evidence, no seconder to the story. Well, everybody's entitled to his own opinion. But I can tell you this, it's not everyone that will take the story that you have dished out. So, I take some of those stories that somebody is sucking this person's blood. How do you substantiate that? Because people are not spiritual. So if there's anything spiritual you have done, there should be a seconder. There should be a witness to it. That is how evidences are presented. But people are entitled to believe what you want to believe. But for me, I have my reservation. Spiritual problem. Talking one story and joining it. Somebody was one day, check his pad, somebody was sucking his blood. Did you revert it and it became different because somebody and the person come and confess that he's sucking the blood of the Menses? I don't understand. But meanwhile, we're discussing pattern. Let's not deviate, because this is totally a deviation from what the discourse is all about.
Because there's no spiritual force behind it. It's choice.
It happens in America. It happens in London. It happens everywhere.
Not a generational curse. There's no spiritual force behind it. It's choice.
White lady. She was looking for her mom. She didn't see her mom. She went downstairs and saw her mom. This lady was going through a monthly flu at that time. She met her mom with her, this lady's used pad. The mom was sucking the blood. White! So what are you telling me?
It's not a generational curse. There's no spiritual force behind it. It's
just to make more analysis on this issue of it, the white lady. When you mention, in Africa, when you mention white lady, US, we get our euphorias are different. Our thought became as if these are more heavenly people. These are people that shouldn't make mistake. So stories are used. They use most of these white men to tell us stories if they want to force it on us, no matter what, whether it is true or not. This lady, he said, was looking. I have to just, make some statement on it. Was looking for her mom. How can you be looking for your mom? Your mom should know where he is. Except there's an obvious danger in the nation or in the area where you are. It tells you that the mom probably is too old or have some psychological problem. That is what it means. Because if a daughter should be looking for her mom, these are the two things. A daughter who is grown is not a child that is crying after for his mom. No. A daughter who is grown is looking for her mom. There are just two things. So some stories don't add up. You need to put your head. You need to reason. The reason why God gave you head is for you to reason. The reason why He gave you mind is for you to think. Your brain is to think and relate matters and know that this thing, man, I can drop it somewhere and move on. And he found her mom leaking blood physically from a diaper that she probably dropped. If she's leaking blood physically, what is spiritual about it? And there are stories where they say spirit is sucking blood and you don't see, but you believe it's spiritually that this blood is being sucked. But at this point, you find this woman leaking from a dirty diaper. And this is the man, the lady was looking for her own mom. I mean, let's call it a chase, bro.
Choice.
You see, your problem is that you don't know. And ignorance in the spirit is not an excuse. There is a condition in your blood that causes you to lust after pornography, after women. There's a condition in your blood that causes you to lie. This one is not enumjao. It's not macho. It's not strength. No. We are talking spirit here. Life is spiritual. And everything that is spiritual